Straight Outta Compton, a hard-hitting, explosive journey into the heart of hip-hop's most controversial crew. All right, folks, let me tell you something. If you think Straight Outta Compton is just another movie, think again. This is an experience, a raw, unfiltered journey into a world that's as far from glitzy Hollywood as you can get. Directed by F. Gary Gray, Straight Outta Compton takes you right into the gritty, intense streets of Compton, California, in the late 80s, a time and place where dreams and danger walked side by side, giving birth to a revolution in music and culture. Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, DJ Yella, and MC Ren, who founded the N.W.A, were not just musicians. They were messengers, revolutionaries, and in many ways, fearless provocateurs who redefined what it meant to speak truth to power. Straight Outta Compton is more than a story about a rap group. It's about survival, defiance, brotherhood, and the sheer determination to make yourself heard in a world that often wants to keep you silent. N.W.A did just that. They forced the world to listen, whether it liked it or not. This movie brings that entire journey to life in a way that's electrifying, deeply moving, and at times, hard to watch. You'll feel every beat, every struggle, and every triumph. So buckle up, because we're about to dive into the rise, the rebellion, and the legacy of N.W.A. Compton in the late 1980s wasn't just a backdrop. It was a crucible, a place where young people had to fight for survival every single day. And that fight is the heartbeat of this film. Gray gives us a Compton that's real. No frills, no gloss. It's rough, it's unforgiving, and it's the kind of place that forces you to grow up fast. You don't get to be naive in Compton. You either learn to protect yourself, or you risk being swallowed by the violence, gangs, and systemic oppression that defined the area. This film makes you feel what it was like to be young and black in a place where opportunities were scarce and risks were everywhere. Every interaction with the police, every threat of gang violence, every struggle for respect and dignity isn't just shown, it's felt. And that's where the genius of hip-hop came in. Music wasn't just a creative outlet for these kids. It was a lifeline. It was the only way they could scream, "We're here, we matter, and we won't be ignored." The movie dives deep into the injustices faced by these young men. The harassment from police, portrayed with brutal honesty, is painful to watch but essential to understanding the world that N.W.A came from. The group's experiences with racial profiling and police violence were seared into their memories and shaped their music. When Ice Cube raps about police brutality, he's not being metaphorical. He's reliving his own life, and that raw honesty is what made their music resonate. This isn't just a story of music. It's a story of resilience, resistance, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Now, let's talk about the man who kickstarted it all, Eazy-E. Jason Mitchell's portrayal of Eazy is absolutely magnetic. He's got swagger, he's got charm, and he's got that look that says, "I know how to get things done." Eazy was more than just a rapper. He was a hustler with a vision. Before he was ever in a studio, he was out on the streets making moves, stacking cash, and dreaming of something bigger. He wasn't polished or refined, but that's exactly what made him so compelling. He was a kid from the hood who wasn't afraid to take risks, and he saw music as his ticket out. Eazy's story is as heartbreaking as it is inspiring. He goes from being a street hustler to a superstar almost overnight. But the road isn't easy. Eazy's ambition drives him, but it also isolates him. His partnership with manager Jerry Heller is a double-edged sword. Heller opens doors for Eazy and N.W.A, but he also introduces a poison into the group, a wedge that eventually drives them apart. Watching Eazy navigate fame, fortune, and betrayal is like watching a Greek tragedy unfold. He rises high, but his downfall is inevitable, and it's devastating. In his final days, when he's grappling with his illness, we see a side of Eazy that's vulnerable and deeply human. His story isn't just about success, it's about mortality, about facing the consequences of a life lived at full throttle. Eazy's legacy in the film is one of resilience and tragedy, a reminder of how high you can climb and how far you can fall. Then there's Dre, played by Corey Hawkins with a focus and intensity that captures Dre's relentless drive. Dre was the musical genius, the man who could turn a simple beat into pure magic. But Dre's journey isn't just about talent. It's about a man who refuses to compromise on his vision, no matter what it costs him. Dre is the heart and soul of N.W.A, the guy who's not just in it for fame or money, but for the art. You can feel his passion in every beat, in every track he produces. The movie doesn't shy away from showing Dre's struggles. He's dealing with personal losses, with violence in the streets, and with a record industry that's not exactly friendly to young black artists trying to make a name for themselves. His journey from Compton to the top of the music world is inspiring because it's a testament to what pure, unbreakable talent can achieve when it refuses to give up. When Dre eventually leaves N.W.A to pursue his own career, it's a moment of both liberation and heartbreak. His solo success is a vindication of his vision, but it comes at a cost. Dre's story in the film is one of ambition, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence. He's a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to fight for it, and that's what makes him such a powerful character. Now, if there's one person in N.W.A who knew how to wield words like weapons, it was Ice Cube. O'Shea Jackson Jr. plays his father with an intensity and authenticity that's honestly jaw-dropping. Cube wasn't just rapping, he was delivering sermons, manifestos, unapologetic truths that hit like a punch to the gut. His lyrics were bold, unfiltered, and yes, controversial, but they were also necessary. Cube was the guy who could take all that anger, all that frustration, and turn it into something powerful. Cube's journey in the film is marked by a fierce commitment to his own values. When he leaves N.W.A over a contract dispute, it's a moment of self-respect and defiance. He won't let anyone take advantage of him, not even his brothers. Watching Cube go solo and drop his first diss track aimed squarely at his former group is exhilarating and painful at the same time. He's burning bridges, but he's also making a statement. He's not here to play by anyone else's rules. Cube's solo career is one of the highlights of the film because it shows us what happens when an artist refuses to compromise. His lyrics continue to challenge, provoke, and inspire, and his success outside of N.W.A proves that he's more than just a member of the group. He's a force to be reckoned with. Cube's story is about independence, about finding your voice and refusing to let anyone silence it. While Eazy, Dre, and Cube get most of the spotlight, DJ Yella, Neil Brown Jr., and MC Ren, Aldous Hodge, are the unsung heroes of N.W.A, the steady hands that keep the group grounded. Yella brings the beats that make you want to move, while Ren adds a flow that completes N.W.A's sound. They may not have been the loudest voices in the group, but their contributions are undeniable. Without Yella and Ren, N.W.A wouldn't be the powerhouse it was. Yella and Ren embody loyalty. They're there through the highs and lows, through the fame and the fallout, always supporting their brothers. Their stories might not be as dramatic, but they add a layer of depth and stability to the group. They're the guys who keep things together when everything starts to fall apart. In a group full of big personalities, Yella and Ren bring balance and humility, and that's what makes them essential. As N.W.A rises to fame, the cracks in their brotherhood start to show. Fame brings more than just money and adoration. It brings jealousy, greed, and betrayal. Watching the group's rise and fall is like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You can see it coming, but there's no way to stop it. The movie captures this beautifully, showing us the strain of contracts, egos, and business decisions that eventually tear the group apart. Jerry Heller, played by Paul Giamatti, is a fascinating character in this drama. Heller believes in N.W.A when no one else does, but his loyalty is complicated. He becomes a father figure to Eazy, but his influence is also toxic. Heller's role in the group's dissolution is heartbreaking because you can see that he genuinely cares about them, but he's also using them. The tension between loyalty and exploitation is one of the film's most compelling themes. and it's what ultimately drives the group apart. The breakup of N.W.A. isn't just a business decision, it's a tragedy. These aren't just musicians, they're brothers who've been through hell together. Watching them go their separate ways, knowing that things will never be the same, is deeply moving. And yet, there's a sense of inevitability about it. N.W.A. was too big, too bold, too raw to last forever. Their breakup is painful, but it's also a reminder that greatness often comes with a price. Straight Outta Compton is more than just a movie about music. It's a movie about a cultural shift. N.W.A. didn't just make rap music, they made history. They spoke truth to power, challenged authority, and gave a voice to the voiceless. This movie doesn't just tell their story, it celebrates their legacy. It's a reminder of how far we've come and how far we still have to go. The legacy of N.W.A. lives on in the music, in the artists they inspired, and in the social movements they helped to spark. Straight Outta Compton doesn't just entertain. It educates, it inspires, and it ignites. It's a film that makes you think, that makes you feel, and that leaves a lasting impact. It's a story of defiance, resilience, and the power of truth, and it's one that demands to be seen. So, if you're ready for a story that will make you laugh, cry, and rage all at once, if you're ready to experience the raw, unfiltered reality of hip-hop's most controversial crew, then it's time to watch Straight Outta Compton. This isn't just a movie, it's a movement, a masterpiece, and a must-see.